Okay, welcome to this video on GCSE Higher Maths and finding the equation of the tangent to a circle. Now this follows on from finding the equation of a perpendicular line and having covered circle theorems. So here's the theory. We're going to find the equation of a tangent to a circle at a given point. So if we're given that this point is xy, we're going to find the equation of this tangent to the circle at that point xy. Now the theory, this relies on a circle theorem, and it relies on the fact that the tangent meets the radius of the circle at 90 degrees. So for our radius, we can calculate its gradient. Because I've got the coordinates of the point and know the x difference and the y difference between the centre of the circle and the point that we're trying to find the equation of the tangent at. So I can get the gradient of the radius, let's call that m1, and what I want to find is the gradient of the tangent, let's call that m2. And because we know that they are perpendicular, we know that m2 is the negative reciprocal of m1. So using that, I can get my equation of the tangent in the form y equals mx plus c, because I've got the y value, I've got the x value, and I've got the gradient of the tangent. The only thing that I don't know is c, so I can find c. So here are the steps. The first step is to find the gradient of the radius. Then we find the gradient of the tangent because it's the negative reciprocal of the gradient of the radius. Then I use my y value at the point I'm finding the equation of the tangent at. I use the x value at that point, and I use the gradient of the tangent. I sub those into y equals mx plus c to find c. And then finally, I'm going to write the equation of the tangent using c and m. So let's have a go at this example. We've got the circle here. Its equation would be x squared plus y squared equals 10 squared, because we can see the radius is 10. And we're going to get the equation of the tangent to this circle at the point 8, 6. So if I first of all find the equation of my radius. So if I draw my little right angled triangle, the x difference is 8 and the y difference is 6. I can get that from my coordinates. So my gradient of my radius is going to be the y difference divided by the x difference, which is 6 over 8. And I suppose we should simplify that, divide top and bottom by 2 to get 3/4. So I know therefore that my gradient of my tangent is the negative reciprocal of that. -1 divided by 3/4. I'm dividing by a fraction, so I need to flip the fraction and multiply, so that will be -4/3. So those are my first two steps, the gradient of the radius and the gradient of the tangent. So now my next step, I know that the equation will be y equals mx plus c of the tangent, the general equation of a straight line, where y is 6, m is -4/3, x is 8, and the only thing in that equation that I don't know is c, so I can find it out. So 6 is negative 4/3 times 8 is negative 32/3 plus c. So therefore 6, I'm going to have to add on my 32/3, which will give me, I'll change 6 into thirds, so it's 18/3 plus 32/3, which is 50/3. So this is c. So that's my third step, is to find c. So finally, my equation of my tangent, I can sub it back into y equals mx plus c. Y equals m, which is negative 4/3, times x plus c, which is 50/3. So this will give me the equation of my tangent. Okay, so time for you to have a go, so press pause and have a go at this question. Okay, so the steps again. I'm going to find the equation of my radius. So my y difference is 5, my x difference is 12, so my gradient of my radius is the y difference divided by the x difference, which is 5/12. So the gradient of my tangent is the negative reciprocal of that, so I can flip it and make it negative. So my equation of my tangent is y equals mx plus c. So I know that y is 5. The gradient is negative 12/5. X is 12 plus c. So let's work out c. So 5 is negative 144/5 plus c. So I'm going to have to add 144/5 to 5 to get c. So let's change 5 into something with a denominator of 5, which must be 25/5 plus 144/5. So this is 169/5, which is c. So the equation of my tangent is y is negative 12/5, which is the gradient, y is m, times x plus my c. Now, did you read the full question? Because it wanted the answer in the form ax plus by plus c is 0. So I'm going to have to get everything on one side with 0 on the other. So I'm going to have to add 12/5 x and take 169/5 to make the right hand side 0. And to make it in a nicer form, I would multiply through by 5 so that we clear the fractions and we've only got integers. So if I multiply through by 5, that will become 12x. I'd have to multiply y by 5 to get the 5y. Then it'll be take 169 equals 0. So I've got it into the form ax plus by plus c is 0, where a is 12, b is 5 and c is negative 169. Okay, thank you very much for watching.